Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new piercing horror story reaction video. Hello girls, what is the tea? What is the da Julie? Hopefully you are doing fabulous. So today we are going to be doing some more of your own piercing horror stories. I love reading out your stories. So I'm going to go to the old one that I made last month, and I'm going to read through some of your piercing horror stories from that video. So if you'd like to leave your piercing horror stories for the next video, please comment down below on this one, and you're more than welcome to repost the same story if I haven't read it out. So feel free to repost the same story, and maybe you'll make it into the next one. But anyway guys, let's not beat around the bush. Please subscribe first and hit the notification bell, all that good kind of stuff, and the like, that helps. But let's not be around the bush and get straight on to your horror stories. Nipple piercing horror story. This was before I learned about piercings. I was about 2021. God, I was 2021 once. Long time ago. I went to a shop to get some ear piercings, and the piercer talked me into getting nipple piercings. What the hell? That's quite a jump to go, I want to get my ears pierced. But in the end, I got my nipples pierced? Like, how did that? I want to know, like, how that happened. I discussed it with my then boyfriend, now husband, and he said he would go with me. So piercing day rolls around and I have a piercer on each side, both counting to 3 like it was Claire's or something. They put in 16 gauge curved barbells. One barbell was the wrong size, so the piercer ripped it out and shoved another one into the fresh hole. What the hell? But I don't understand why like you would get a nipple piercing done on each side at the same time. Like, that's just like, nipple piercings hurt. Like, if I'm going to tell you that any piercing hurts, nipple piercings hurt. Like, to get them both done at the same time, it just seems a bit kind of like pain overload. I don't understand. That doesn't sit right with me. I examined the next day and ended up deciding that the right one was crooked. I wish I had the balls I do now, because this bitch literally shoved the same needle in the right nipple 4 times because it kept getting it crooked. I walked out with a bandage on my nipple and fury in my soul. I ended up taking the other one out and finding another piercer to do them both properly, but oh my god, it was awful. She did it 4 times. Where did you go? What an awful piercer. I always say to people, like, make sure you go to professional, make sure you get it done professionally, all that stuff. Yes, sometimes it goes weird and the professional's a bit shit. Most of the time, that's not the case. So please don't get too scared about this. But what the hell is wrong with these people? Like, how is that? Like, what? There's a lot to unpack and I don't know how to start. Like, what the hell? One was the wrong size and then she pierced it with the same needle 4 times. I feel like you didn't go to professional. Like, what was this place? Like, what? I think even people who don't really understand about piercings know that you don't reuse a needle, especially 4 times. Like, what the horror story. There's a place similar to Claire's in Australia, but it's called Price Cutters. Just the word price cutters is alone to know that you probably shouldn't be getting piercings there. I went there to get my tongue done, and at the time I never noticed anything, but when I got home, I was in agony. I couldn't swallow or anything at all, but I managed to lift my tongue up a bit to realize she had pierced it all the way back to the webbing of my tongue. A day later, I ended up going back to my normal piercer, and she fixed it up for me, and it all went well. PSA, don't go to anyone else but your normal piercer. Yes, oh my god. Like, if you're anyone like me, who loves piercings and has a load, like, you know, I've had so many now of my life. Like, I have been going to the same piercer now for 6 years. I absolutely love her. Veronica Blades, Ronnie at Extreme Needle in London. I absolutely love her. She's incredible. When you have a relationship with your piercer, you also don't feel like bad or weird about saying, can I have it more like this? Or can I change this? Or can I change that? I know when I first started getting piercings, before I kind of understood lots of stuff, I would always feel awkward about going, oh, could you move it? Could you do this? Because I felt, you know, it was awkward. If you don't have any interest in getting lots of piercings, and you just want 1 or 2, like, of course, you're not going to build a relationship with a piercer because you really won't see them that often. So please do research. Don't go to a place called Price Cutters. Like, don't go to, you know, or like, don't go to Claire's. Like, make sure you go to a professional piercing studio, look up reviews, look up stuff online, make sure that you ask people who, you know, who may have been pierced by this person. Like, piercing horror story time. I still don't really know how or why this happened. Maybe you could inform me. Oh, Miss Marple here, girls. All right, so I was about 9 at the time, and I had this problem with my ears, which are extremely sensitive, and if I don't wear sterling, they get very red and itchy and sometimes infected. So it sounds like you just got an allergy to other material other than sterling silver. I mean, I could be wrong, but just from the onset, sounds like you got an allergy. I knew this at the time and decided to change the earrings I was wearing, which were from Claire's. First mistake, I know. I cleaned the earrings and my ears before inserting them, and everything seemed fine for a bit. My ears got slightly red, but I just ignored that because I was young and dumb. Fast forward to the next day, I woke up and thought I was fine until I scratched behind my ear and it was all wet. I looked at my hand and there was a black gunk type of substance on my finger that smelled absolutely disgusting. A black substance. I ran to the bathroom to look in the mirror and the back of both ears were covered in this substance. So I cleaned it off, revealing that the back of both of my earrings were stuck in my ear. I got the first one out semi-easily and it only took about a minute or so. However, the last one took me about 10 minutes to get out and in result, my ear was red as a damn hot Cheeto and it left a hole in the back of my ear for a good week. What the fuck? Like maybe the material that the backing of your earring was made kind of like came off, like because if it was cheap, maybe it came off and kind of mixed in with your blood and pus and it kind of came out as like black. I don't know what would make it black. Because obviously I've had piercings ooze, but it's like a, you know, it comes like a clear liquid and it's like a clear crust all over it. Or like sometimes if you lean on it when you sleep and it might be blood, which is disgusting. That sentence is unacceptable. That sentence is completely unacceptable to say. But I think that could be possibly what it was. I was tripping on acid for the first time when I was 16. I mean, if there's ever been the best start to a story I've ever heard, it's that. Kids, don't do drugs. I was tripping on acid for the first time when I was 16 and decided it was a good idea to get my septum pierced by my friend. Kids, don't do drugs. She ended up piercing through the cartilage instead of the sweet spot. I didn't know it was pierced in the wrong spot until months later when it wouldn't heal. I ended up pulling it out and still feel bumps to my nose today and I'm 20 now. Oh my God. I feel like I don't need to say much about this story other than don't pierce, don't do drugs, and also don't pierce yourself while doing drugs. Triggered. God, the title of this one alone is triggering. Belly button piercing at school. Wonderful. Belly button piercing at school. When I was 14, I used to pierce myself, mostly on my ears, but at this time, I wanted a belly button piercing, so I pierced myself with a sewing needle. I don't know what I was thinking about because it was way too thin to put any piece of jewelry in. The thing was, I started doing it before I was going to school, and it was getting late, so I had to go to school with the needle still on me, but it hadn't passed all the way through. I asked for help from one of my schoolmates, but they couldn't do it as my skin and flesh was swollen. I had to take it out once the swollen area was better and got it done by professional years later and still have it 7 years later. Oh my God, after 7 years. Oh my God. I kind of read these words and put words in where there's not words. It makes sense still, but oh my God. The idea that you did it and like it didn't go through and you had to leave for school, but you just kind of just left it in your belly button like as you went to school. Like, what happens if you like, you slipped over and fell on your stomach and then the needle like went really far in your skin? Or like you hugged a friend and they pushed too hard or something and they like pushed the needle into your stomach. Like, the whole idea of you walking around with like a sewing pin in your belly button, like halfway done is just... oh my God, no go. This is the thing as well, when a lot of people do piercings, they use sewing needles. It's like sewing needles, the needle is so thin, it's like it really isn't big enough to put in any kind of jewelry, like because you'll end up then having to stretch the hole that you've done. I was young, like 9 years old maybe. I wanted my ears pierced, so of course my parents, not knowing any better, took me to Claire's. I was excited for the first few days after everything was fine, but as soon as child me went to school and didn't go well, I was playing with a friend and she slapped me. Your friend just slapped you. Why did she slap you? I went to feel my ear and the piercing was gone. We searched for the front for ages but couldn't find it. Fast forward to months later, I felt a bump in the back of my ear. We went to A&E. It turns out the bump wasn't scarring. It was the back of my earring. It had been in the back of my ear for the last 6 months. I still had the scar and the bump today, years later. Oh my God. I mean, it's horrific enough already just to think that you had that in your ear, but the fact that you had it in for 6 months? 6 months? What? What? Horror story. I got my dahlia pierced with surface bars when I was 17. One night I was getting harassed by a group of dudes and this one guy's sleeve got stuck on my piercing. When they heard cops cars come, they ran and my left dahlia ripped out of my cheek. There was blood all over the place and I was crying in pain. Not my story, but my daughter's. What the hell? I mean, I am a little confused why they had dahlia piercings with surface bars, because it's like here, isn't it? Like dahlia piercings, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure dahlia piercings ones like on the side of the mouth here. So like, why would you have surface bars? Like, did it come out the front here? Anyway, I mean, it's kind of beside the point, but I can't believe that you well, your daughter got attacked and that happened. Like, that's absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. I wholeheartedly apologize and send you so much love, and like that's horrific to go through, and I'm really sorry that happened. Long self-piercing horror story that came to bite me in the ass. Wonderful. To preface, I always wanted my nipples pierced and decided at 18, which was about 7 years ago, I would have to have them done. However, I learned that due to being adopted, my identity was so jacked. Oh gosh. Triggered. I was adopted too, girls. I could not get a proper ID at the time, so I did what any 18-year-old idiot would do. I ordered some 14-gauge hollow needles and some jewelry. I marked my right nipple, put gloves on, and started the process. While it didn't hurt, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. While it didn't hurt, I was so nervous that I got the needle stuck. Oh my God. I didn't even manage to get the needle all the way through, and it took me 30 minutes to pull it out for obvious reasons. I did not end up with the nipple piercings that day, and instead opted to let the notorious right nipple heal. Fast forward to now, the previous October, a piercing joint opens up close to me, and I decided I'd actually get them professionally done. We love to see it. I warned my piercer that one of my nipples might have a scar tissue due to my ignorance. He didn't press any further, nor did he ask which. I mean, I feel like he probably should have asked you which one, or maybe you should have just told him that, like, my right nipple. I don't know. I feel like you were both kind of at fault there, because you could have just said my right nipple and he should have been like, which one? Well, we started that notorious right nipple. I laid on the table after being marked and cleaned and just tried focusing on calming my nerves. He went to stick the needle in and he got the needle stuck on the scar tissue. Oh my God. See, this is why I feel like there should have been some communication to be like, it's this one, so just prepare yourself. You might have to push a little harder. I don't know. God. It hurt so bad I nearly passed out. We knew it wasn't going to go through and he didn't want me to walk out disappointed. So he pulled out 2 additional larger needles. The idea was the larger one would be easier going through the scar tissue. As for the other nipple, it was necessary for them to heal evenly. I'm not kidding when I say, as soon as the larger needle pushed through my scar tissue, my leg that was propped on the piercing table went completely limp and fell. Oh my God. Felt like eternity before I could actually get up and move my leg again. But not all horror stories have a bad ending. We're now 6 months into the healing process and there's absolutely no sign of rejection, no infection, and I'm proud owner of 2 perfectly executed professional nipple piercings. Yes, yes, yes. We love to see at least it ended up well. But like that whole process sounds horrific. I feel like, yeah, I feel like there was like a lack of communication between both of you. But I mean, I'm glad the bigger needle worked a bit better and you could walk afterwards. I do find like your body and your nerves so strange because I've had piercings before where like I've had something done and like weird parts of my body ache or something. I remember when I got my eyebrow piercing done. It like hurt down here for a bit. Like I could feel it down here. And there's probably some nerve connection or something. I don't really know what happened. But like it kind of hurt down here. Not like astronomically painful, but I could feel it here for a while. I don't understand that. But you know, sometimes that kind of stuff happens. Piercing horror story. I work with animals. We love to see it. Start with animals. And at the time of this horror story, I worked at a pet hotel doggy camp. Oh, I want to go to a pet hotel doggy camp. Yes, bitch. I was in camp with a bunch of large dogs and was playing fetch with a group of them. I stopped for a second to drink some water and took my mask off on the right ear, leaving it hanging on my left ear. Oh no, you're gonna say one jumped up and bit the cord or something, aren't you? No, 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 no. One of the dogs hopped up while I was drinking the water and got his paw stuck in my mask. Then when he hopped down, he ripped my mask down as well. My industrial bar began to hurt so bad. It got hot and I knew something had happened. I reached up and felt blood on my ear. I immediately called for a break and went to the bathroom to see that he had ripped the bottom part of my industrial thumb. Oh my God, but luckily not all the way through. I've had this piercing for 5 years now, and this is the most major issue I've had. It's okay now, but it took forever to heal the rip on the bottom. Oh my God, you're lucky that it didn't reject. Things like industrial piercings are, you know, are annoying piercings to have to begin with to heal, like, you know, regularly. To then have like irritations to rip it and stuff. Like, I'm very surprised that the bottom half of it didn't like come out the side of your ear, like, and just reject, because it will, it does, you know, it does happen quite often with these piercings. Naughty dogs, naughty fluffy, naughty. But I guess when dogs and that kind of stuff, you know, they see something flapping around there, I think it's like a natural, like cats as well. Cats will do the same thing. They'll see something like that and then they'll jump up and like try to paw it like some toy or something. When I got my ears pierced, my mum put butterfly backings on it. We love a butterfly clip. And since I had gotten it, I didn't take it out. When I could finally change it, my skin had grown completely around the back of the piercing and I had to get it removed by a doctor at the hospital. I now have a lump scar on my ear where the backing was taken out. Oh my God, these butterfly clips. The thing is, like, if you've got a piercing and it's completely healed and you want to have studs or something in your ear and use a butterfly clip, you know, I still would always say use a barbell, but if you want to use a butterfly clip, fine. But like on fresh piercings or new piercings, butterfly clips and studs should not be used because they just don't have room for swelling and like it will eat your ear can quite easily eat the bar. So I've heard this story so many times of like butterfly clips sinking into people's ears because it's just too tight and they get stuck really easily, especially like if your ear is oozing. The ooze almost acts like a glue with like the metal like butterfly clip at the back. It's just awful. Like please, 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 if you're going to get piercings, get them done with barbells and then you can potentially change them into butterfly clips if you really want them that bad. But you can do so many different kinds of jewelry when you use barbells. Like you can do so many different kinds of ends, like jewels and like not like it's even like flat fronts or like sparkly things. Like there's so many different options with barbells. You don't need to have, you know, studs. Well guys, I'm always aboard the trigger train. Choo choo, speeding down the way, we're about to crash from a cliff and plunge to my death. Bye bitch, are you on the trigger train? Have you got your ticket? Have you got your tickets, girl? It's a cram train. We might be going to the moon soon because we want to get off the planet. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your horror stories. As always guys, please comment down below some of your own personal horror stories and maybe you can make it into the next video. And like I said, you're more than welcome to post the same story if I've not read it out and I have missed it. So please keep flooding the comments with your stories because I absolutely love doing these videos. So thank you for your love and support. If you are new, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I make videos twice a week. A massive shout out to my gorgeous patrons whose names you can see on the screen here. But an extra special shout out to, I'm getting reaching for my phone, my top tier patrons, Ali Arriguez, Alicia Marie, Austin Vilden, Booshshot93, Brenna, Cassie Hill, Kat McHuman, Jill Herman, Christopher John, Robbie, Corin Pemberton, Demetri Settle, Eleanor Goddard, Heather Lawrence, James Burgess, Joynia Price, Caitlin Wright, Kat L, Kelly Bowser, Chloe Louise, Megan Holly, Magusta Lagos, Moragani Wolf, Samuel Patterson, Steffi Texas, Mac, and Troy Bussy. Thank you for being my top tier patrons. There's a link down below. If you'd like to my Patreon, my next video, all the names and things will be updated. So if you have been a new person and your name hasn't appeared yet, that will be fixed in my next video. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Notification bell, likes, all that good stuff. I'll see you soon. I need to go have a drink. Gonza. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.